Hello, this is Chair Chat number 4. In this video, I'm going to talk about my first job. You see, when my brother and I weren't playing, or should I say watching the Beatles cartoon, in which I would have my broom, as a guitar, and he's beating on a cereal box, I came across my first job. And as a young, man, and boy was I proud. Now, this is still on 42nd and Mantua Avenue, also known as Mantua Street. Now, I talked about the Mantua Street Bar, and that's when I talked about the Black Mafia. I talked about on the other corner, there was a family grocery store. And on one of the other corners, and this would be the same corner of the house that I lived in, was Nate's Barbershop. I talk about that in one of my songs, Nate's Barbershop. And this particular summer, Nate decided that he would invest in a water ice stand. Water ice stand, also known as Italian ice. And I ended up getting hired to work for him. Boy, that was great, working at the water ice stand, And so I remember there were like 3 sizes, was it 35, 25, and 15, something like that. And this was great. On the weekends, which was always very, very busy, and, there'd be your characters of bullies, threatening you to get something for free. But you see, Nate could see them through the window. Now, if he's looking through the window, he sees my back, but he can see if there's any kind of problem out there, and Nate would come out and pretty much chase, the bullies away, which was very convenient. And also, there would be, young ladies trying to get a free water ice out of you. And I remember, this one particular young girl that I would see in school, and she never said a word to me. Now I'm working at the water ice. I'm going to call it water ice. That's what we called it. At the water ice stand there. And now she's got a lot to say, and her name was Valencia, a pretty girl named Valencia. Wow. So now she's doing everything that she can to get a free water ice out of me. But it didn't work. Not the 4th time. And but I remember when we used to go get the water ice, and I get to pick out the flavors. This was great. And the most popular flavor at that particular time was rum. Now, funny thing about rum is I don't think a lot of people really liked it. It was just rum. It sounds so adult. And so that was really popular. Now I'm back when my brother went to live with my grandparents. So now we're back on Lancaster Avenue. Or at least he is, and I would go there to visit as much as I could. I ended up with a job at a candy store. I worked in a candy store. Wow, this was also really great. Except for the fact that the guy that I worked for, who was, an old guy, which is funny because he was probably younger than I am now, but he looked really, really old. And he was just so mean. I mean, this guy was like mean in a very creepy way. And I think part of the issue was the fact that he was aware that, this is a kid here and he's going to try to eat up all the candy, in the store and do it for free. And he wasn't going to have that. So he's looking over your shoulder, he's just, he only... I was only in the store alone, only a few times, not that much. But anyway, I ended up just quitting. It just wasn't fun. I don't know, or maybe I maybe I ate a Tootsie Roll and got caught. I don't know. But that was something else that I did. Now, my brother who was much better, at these things in terms of, what I would call hustling. He was much, much better at those things than I, was. And he ended up making himself a shoe shine kit. He would probably describe it as, something, raggedy. He didn't have all the fancy stuff, but boy, he certainly knew what to do. And he was saving up a lot of his money to buy like a fancy shoe shine kit. And this would have been one that would have like the metal foot, on it. Now, across from where we lived, I had mentioned in the previous video that there was Pat's Hoagies, which today is a very, very famous hoagie shop on South Avenue. This was the original Pat's. Okay, now imagine there's Pat's Hoagies. There is an electronics repair shop next to Pat's. This would be like on the right side of Pat's. And then next to that repair shop was a bar. Now my brother would frequently go there and he'd shine shoes. That's what he did, saving up money to go to Pat's. And also he was determined to get some money to buy a fancy shoe shine kit. I mean, he was that's what he did. Now I went out there with him once, maybe once or twice, but I was just so bad at it. I was too shy to, hey, you need a shoe shine? You want a shoe shine? You want a shoe shine? I just couldn't seem to do it. I was just too shy. So I was lame, but my brother was very, very good. And one of the things my brother's very, very, very proud about was one day while he was working, a black limousine pulled up to go into the electronic shop. So this black limousine pulls up, a guy gets out, goes into the shop there, the electronics shop, and my brother is fascinated. You don't see limousines every day, and I guess whoever the limousine driver was says, who's in there? And of course, who's in there? That's Cassius Clay. Wow. My brother was beside himself. Cassius Clay. Now I say Cassius Clay because at the time, that was his name. It was right before he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. And so my brother, again, he's beside himself, so he manages to get, an autograph. And he noticed that looking at Cassius Clay's hand, that he had, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, his thumb and I'm guessing his index finger, but one of his fingers were blue. And my brother's like, why is your thumb and finger blue? And Cassius Clay's response was, I was counting my money. And he certainly had a lot of money, right? Anyway, I'll leave you with that. I shall return with more. In the meantime, I will say, have a good day. Signing out. Bye.